What up everybody, it's your boy Jouhzu, and in this video I'm going to teach you or tell you how you find a best friend, right? In fact, I titled the video how to find a best friend, but it's pretty misleading. The truth is, you don't find a best friend, you create one, right? In this video I'm going to give you an example using my friend Hendrik, who came all the way from Australia to visit me. But before I do, I'm gonna play the intro right now, and you guys know what to do. The intro is always an indicator that you should like this video right now. Let's go. My homeboy from Australia is coming to visit me. Well, it's a friend who I met in Australia. And I'm gonna go rushing and picking him up, man. I'm a bit late. I overslept. But I decided to take you guys with me. And let's go. Shit, check out my area. Do you wanna see do you realize why I wanna leave this place? Because it's all grey and gloomy here, man. And you don't see any people around, only old people. It's frustrating, man. Hey, boy. Can you not see it? It's on my GoPro. Hey boys.
How you doing, boys?
Well, I met him in Australia and he came to visit me. That's my boy, homeboy, Hendrik.
Good old Germany, huh?
So, the way I got Hendrik to come all the way from Australia to meet me is by building the friendship on loyalty and honesty right from the start. Now I'm going to explain you how I did it. So basically I met Hendrik in a hostel in Australia, right? And we didn't become friends right from the start. You know, there's like this misconception that you will find your best friend, you will know who your best friend is right from the beginning and stuff. But that's not true. It is the things that you go through that makes the friendship, right? I'll give you an example. Let's say you know somebody like a distant cousin called Barry. And Barry, you know him for 7 years. And the only relationship you have with Barry is like a hello and goodbye basis. Trust me. Between you and Barry, there is no friendship. There's no real loyal, deep friendship. There's no close friendship whatsoever. Most people think that the longer you know someone, the better their friendship. It's not true. It's correlational, but it's not causative. Basically, the longer you know somebody, the more likely you are to go through some bullshit together that creates that friendship that is based on loyalty in order to go through that bullshit you're going through together, right? And that's basically the same thing that happened with me and Hendrik. It were 3 of us in the hostel, the 3 musketeers. Takumi, which is that Japanese guy, Hendrik, and me.
Oh, I'm yellow.
I'm black.
And I'm white.
Musketeers! Hey Takumi, how you come? And the problem that we faced together, the first problem was that the hostel was charging us way too much rent, you know, because they were providing us with the job, with a really good job, but they were the ones to actually take more than half of the salary that we have to actually put in rent. And we didn't agree with that, but we knew that the hostel owner was a little cunt. So we kind of like tried to secretively look for a new apartment, but knowing that would he catch us, he would kind of like try and kick us out of the hostel. And keep in mind, this hostel thing was in the middle of the desert, right? And there was nothing else around within 100 miles, literally. And obviously everybody was being discreet except for me. I just posted in a Facebook group, this and that, I'm looking for a new place and this and that. Guess what? The hostel owner caught me and he kicked me straight out without notice. And in order to get by in that area, you have to have a car, literally like a 4-wheeler to actually get by because it's a desert. But he just left me out there to die. Literally. That resulted in me and the other guys doing a little pep talk in McDonald's and actually strategizing how I can actually get out of this pinch that I put myself in. So we looked in the internet in McDonald's, using the Wi-Fi in McDonald's to look for a new apartment which was 40 miles away. And that apartment was very close to our job, right? So Hendrik and Takumi sent me off to actually walk all the way 40 miles, and it took me 2 days. I ran out of water, I nearly died, I saw snakes, I saw crocodiles, I saw everything, right? And I ran out of water and I wasn't making it, because the number one thing that kills people in Australia is not the snakes, it's not the spiders, it's not kangaroos, it's the heat. If you don't have enough water, you will die. And I was in the middle of nowhere. And the only reason why I survived this was a truck driver picked me up and drove me to my destination. He saw me nearly unconscious on the ground, right? So he stopped his truck and actually took me. And that truck driver literally saved my life. In the end of the day, I got to my destination. It was a better house. It was a better condition. It was closer to work and everything, right? And once I got settled, I called over my friends Takumi and Hendrik. We bought a car and we drove to work safely, and we left that shitty place, right? But going through this together with Hendrik and Takumi, right? Going through that bullshit, going through the hardship, right? Created that friendship based on loyalty and trust, right? And it's not because they like me or it's not because I like them so much. No, it's more like everybody's out for themselves. And in order to make it through that struggle, people have to kind of like rely on each other to increase the likelihood to make it out of this struggle that we're currently facing, right? So that loyalty that is created in order to actually look out for yourself, once that struggle is over, once that problem is solved, that loyalty, that trust that still remains. Do you understand what I'm saying? That trust, that loyalty still remains. If you trust somebody once and they stay loyal, more likely you're better off trusting and being loyal to him as well, as opposed to somebody who you don't know, right? And that's how I actually created the friendship with Hendrik and Takumi. Once a friendship based on loyalty is already built, you can build up on it, right? And that's what I did with Hendrik and Takumi. And it led us to all sorts of things, even to the point where he came all the way from Australia to come and visit me. So the lesson of today I want to give you is that you don't find a best friend, you create one. You know, you could become a best friend with somebody who you don't like, right? So initially you might think he's a bellend, but over time, going through stuff that is hardship, that is like that requires you guys to stick together, right, can create a friendship. Right? Like what I went through in Australia, you know, like being stranded in the desert, I've actually got a lot of footage that I never really got to post about it. So I'm going to put up a poll here. If you want to see it, if you get, just vote yes, I want to see it. And if I get more than 20 like upvotes for it here, then I'll probably put a separate video explaining in detail what happened and like showing you guys like real footage of actually me being out there in the wild desert. Say, I love fly. We love fly. We love fly. Okay, together. We love fly. Oh shit! My back is apparently a accommodation for flies. I don't know whether you can see them. There's lots of flies. Record my back. I want to see whether there's flies on there. Good now? Yeah.
Accommodate. Harold's back, accommodate.
Harold backpacker for flies. Yeah.
How much?
How much? $1 $1 per fly. I'll be rich. Watashi wa kane mochi ni narimasu. Look at me. If somebody saw me like this at 3:30 in the morning out in the bushes, I think I'll be their worst nightmare. But yeah man, I can't help it, it's just too cold. Anyway, if I make this, man, I don't know, if I make this, man, I reckon this is going to be the biggest achievement of my life, for real. Nothing is impossible, okay? Nothing. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you gained something out of it. Like this video if you haven't already, and yeah man, subscribe if you haven't already, and click the bell button. How many of you guys are subscribed and never click the bell button, man? Do it, man. Like, let's grow Team Jouhzu. And if you're interested, if you want more detail on that topic, I've got another video explaining or demonstrating how I actually meet a stranger and turn him into a real friend, by actually using the principles and actually going and showing you how I actually do it. So click the video up here and watch it all the way to the end to get me the views.